Hello everyone, good morning. Can you tell it's the first time I've spoken today? It is actually the morning, hence why it's also looking a little yellow in here with that morning light. Hopefully I'll be able to fix that for you all, but I have got things to do today and I have got foundation to be testing. I am testing out this new KOKIE, is that how you pronounce it? KOKIE Professional Full Coverage Foundation made in Italy. Oh, so fancy. I feel like this has been gaining the most hype because of that Taylor here on YouTube. That Taylor, she loved this stuff. And a lot of people on YouTube now are going bonkers over this, so I figured I should probably hop on and review it for you all, so that if you have oily skin like me, we can see how it works there. This is, like I said, the full cover foundation. It has no reviews on their website as of right now. It is only $13 and you get 1.01 fluid ounce of product. There are 18 different shades of this. A lot of them are sold out on their website, so I can't really see what the shade range is like, which is kind of a bummer. Hopefully I'll be able to find it and insert it here for you all. They say that this is going to be a lightweight full coverage foundation that is going to last all day. It has a matte finish and it's just going to be seamless and silky and delightful. They don't recommend how to apply it, so I'm gonna go in blind and do the usual. I'm gonna do half brush, I'm gonna do half sponge, see what works best, and probably end up combining forces because that's just, I think foundation looks nice that way. So I got the shade 20W. Hopefully that works out for me, but yeah, that's about all I can tell you right now. Let's go ahead and zoom you in. Then we can start putting this on my face. So here we go. I've got some discoloration from some old blemishes. I've got one huge blemish that I am so upset about. I'm pretty sure it's because of the last foundation I just tested for a weekly wear. Oh, it was so fragranced. I was so not pleased. But alright, we've got that nice and shaken up. Okay, well, I've got a pump, but as you all know, the only pumps I like are the ones that work. You know that feeling? Yep, there it is. Let's see. No, this is fragranced too! Why? It smells really good, but it's fragranced! It smells like fruity gushers, which, like I said, it smells really good, but I'm sad. Okay, so we will go in with a brush here. See how this does. I actually think this is gonna be a really good color match for me. God, it smells good. I am simultaneously irritated and delighted. What a combo. Kind of similar to how I'm feeling about today. I'm going in for a surgery consult. I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a video by now that tells you all about my lovely journey with my gallbladder. Oh my god, a pain I would wish on absolutely no one, but I'm going in for a consult to see if the surgeon thinks that the ER was correct in thinking that I needed to get my gallbladder removed. But I'm irritated that I have to have surgery for it, but I'm also delighted that that would take away all of the pain that I have been experiencing the past few months with my gallbladder. Oh my god, like I said, would not wish on anyone, but looks like the foundation is doing a pretty good job, my friends. Be it on brush side, sponge side. I do think, like I said, I'm gonna combine forces with a brush and a sponge eventually, because that's it just provides the prettiest finish. But dang, yeah, I mean, definitely still some discoloration and whatnot peeking through. We're gonna try and layer this and see how it does, but for now I would say not too shabby, KOKIE. Dang, dude! That looks good! It is definitely a full cover. It is definitely a matte You can still see, I mean, like little things peeking through, but I think that's just because the sponge blending made it not completely full cover, you get what I'm saying? But it's a nice satiny, silky looking matte. It looks really nice, and like I said, I think that's a pretty dang good shade match for me too. So woo woo! I am pretty dang excited here. I am gonna go ahead and put on the rest of my makeup, pretty minimal today, but I'm going to do it, and then I'm gonna get on with my day, and I will be checking in with you all periodically as per usual, and we can see how this wears without a primer, and then eventually we'll see how it wears with primers, and eventually you will hear my final thoughts. So I will see you all in just a second here. Ready? Ding! Hello, I am back. I am here. I have lost track of time today. It has been over 6 hours since I first put this on. It just messes me up when I film super early, because it's like I look at the clock and I'm like, oh, it's definitely not time for my first check-in. I just put this on. Nay, that is actually incorrect. I mean, it also doesn't help or does help that I feel pretty dang good in the foundation. It is just starting to feel oily, and I think you can kind of see some of that sheen on my face, but overall I think it looks pretty darn good. I do think it is not friendly for the fellow glasses wearers of the world. We're seeing that it's coming off a little bit, but it feels super nice and soft. Doesn't look like it's really caked up anywhere. Just overall, it feels pretty dang good. I'm just gonna go ahead and blot because there's a video I want to film, and also just so we can keep testing this out. Ah, yes, it feels good to get that off of my face. No transfer though, so things look and feel good once again. I am gonna go ahead and get and film that video I was thinking about, and also make some dinner and do some more work and eventually go to bed. But I will see you all at my next check-in, probably gonna be my final check-in of the day, and then that will, yep, okay. I'll see y'all in just a second here. Ready? Ding! All right, my friends, it's the end of the night. It's really not, but I've had this on for 10 hours now, and I'm ready to sit down, put on my eye restore, finish editing a video, and then call it a night. I'm so not used to this being my schedule. It's a normal person's schedule, but like, I'm just not there yet. I've always wanted to adjust to this schedule, so maybe this is a head start, but in any case, here we go. Here is the foundation after 10 hours of wear with no primer on. I don't love the way that this looks. On camera, it looks much better than it does in real life. It looks really cakey on my nose, like extremely cakey. It has also completely come off around my nose, on my nose. It just gathered really badly on my nose. It looks really cakey, like on my brow and around my mouth, but you know, it's still there. I still have foundation on. I mean, that's something. It has felt pretty lightweight throughout the day. It's really only when I've been getting oily, like right now, where I'm starting to feel like I'm wearing foundation. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a heavy foundation, but I can tell that I have something on my face. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll try, you know, in the coming days to use lighter layers, use different primers, see if we can make this stick and make it stay as good looking as it did initially until the end of the day. Especially because, I mean, I wasn't doing anything too crazy today, like doctor's appointment, running errands, did laundry, did some video editing, did some filming, like nothing too crazy went on. So I'm definitely curious tomorrow. I'll have a bit heavier of a day. I'm going to go take off my makeup and do all the things I told you, and I will see you all in a couple days, aka in just a second here on YouTube land. Ready? Ding! Hello, my friends. Welcome to the end of day 3 of my testing of this foundation. I have been through some ups and downs with it for sure, but I think I've got my overall feel of how I feel about the foundation. So I'm ready to share it with you guys. You saw day 1, now let's move on to day 2. For the second test, I went ahead and I used my Smashbox primer as well as my Kaja under eye concealer and my Milk normal concealer for blemishes. I just wanted to see, you know, if a lighter layer of foundation, you know, not using it to cover blemishes so much, would be able to make the foundation just, you know, work a little bit better for me. It went on beautifully, just like before. It's got buildable coverage. I thought the finish looked pretty nice. It's one of those things where it does look like you're wearing foundation when you have this on, but it's also a full cover foundation, so like I kind of personally expect that anyways. But at the very first check-in, I had just been in my apartment, you know, kind of just doing little chores and still kind of setting up my place here, so I really wasn't feeling oily enough to blot yet, but I knew I wouldn't be checking in for a little while, so I wanted to check in with you guys anyways, even though I wasn't feeling oily enough to blot at that point. I was like on the precipice of oiliness, but just not quite there yet, so I just left it. Unfortunately, then at the second check-in, when I got home from all of my errands and then also my animal shelter volunteer shift that night, got home, checked in real quick with you guys. I thought it looked okay. It wasn't perfect, but I didn't think it looked the worst that it's ever looked, or the worst that a foundation has ever looked on my skin. I just thought it looked a bit heavy, and it definitely aged me a bit, just because around my mouth lines especially, it seemed like the foundation kind of cracked almost. It just emphasized the fine lines on the face, and I didn't think it was too super flattering. It also wiped right off of my nose with my oils. However, that being said, even though I was oily because I hadn't blotted all day, it did feel very lightweight all day, so I do have to give it those props. On day 3 here, I gave it a final shot and I went ahead and used my Guerlain primer. I also used a couple concealers like before, but this time, because my skin is in a state right now, I don't know, blame it on stress, blame it on incoming period, blame it on me. I've got, some heavy duty pimples on my upper lip right now, and they are painful, and they need a concealer, I think. So I went ahead and brought out one of my heavy hitters, my Too Faced concealer, and also an under eye concealer as well. And I went ahead and put on the foundation. I used a very light layer. I just used a pump of foundation. I wanted to use a quote-unquote normal amount. Usually I do only use 1 to 2 pumps of foundation, but this time I wanted to do it the way that most foundations, I mean, this one didn't specify, but I went ahead and I used 1 pump of foundation, and this pump doesn't pump out a ton, but I was still able to get that full cover look on my face. I thought it looked good. I again had to check in kind of early this time around at the 3.5 hour mark, so I didn't blot once again. However, I didn't think it looked like it needed blotting at that point at the 3.5 mark, and even now here at the end of the night, after running tons of errands, getting a ton of stuff done around the apartment here, cleaning and hanging up paintings and stuff, going to trashy TV night at my mom's, like overall busy day. I mean, it's not like I was profusely sweating or anything, but I think it looks pretty darn good at the end of the night here, to be completely honest. It still transfers a bit with, you know, if you swipe on your face, you still get the transfer onto your finger, but overall, I really don't think it looks bad. So I do believe that is where we are getting into the pros and cons of the foundation. To start off with the pros, I have to give it credit. It is definitely blendable and buildable on the face for that full cover look, as the name of the foundation suggests. It is also, and I think this is probably the main selling factor, at least for me, is that even though it is a full coverage foundation, it is really lightweight. It's not that it feels like you're not wearing foundation at all, but for a full coverage foundation, it is very lightweight. Even when I'm oily here, even when I get sweaty, I wouldn't say that I am scared to touch my face with it on. A little trepidatious maybe, but overall, I'm really not scared about it. It's nice and soft, and overall the transfer really isn't too bad. But gotta put an asterisk next to that pro on the semi-transfer resistantness of it. It's only that way with this Guerlain primer, at least that's what I found. Same thing goes with semi-shine controlness. I will give it that as a pro, but it was really only with my Guerlain primer here. So that is where we get into the cons. Foremost, it's fragranced. It smells great. It smells like a gusher candy. It smells like my Iris Store conditioner. It smells fantastic and delicious. But I don't want fragrance in my foundation. I don't need it. Clearly, my skin is hurting right now, and I think it's because I've tested out 2 super fragranced foundations in a row. It also, as I stated, emphasizes texture and lines, so if you do have wrinkles, fine lines, that sort of a thing, I also would imagine that if you have dry patches, it would cling to that, just based on the fact that it really went into my lines and stuff, but I could be wrong about the dryness, but I am positive about the emphasizing fine lines. So if you do have aged skin, or if you're older, however you want to put it, I don't know that I would recommend this foundation to you. I also think a con is that this foundation, at least for my oily skin, it seems to be primer specific. If I were to continue using this in the future, I would have to use it with my Guerlain primer, and that to me is a con, that I have to like keep a mental note that, okay, this doesn't work with all primers out there, it's just with this one of mine. I want to be able to use whatever primer I want underneath it, so maybe that's me being a little too specific, but it's a con for me anyways. And then last but not least, I do believe that the foundation oxidizes. I'm not sure with the ring light if that'll pick up, but definitely during the day, like whenever I catch myself in the mirror here, I'm always like, ooh. Yeah, it definitely dried at least a shade darker, I think, and to me, that is a con. So overall, there you guys go. I think I'm feeling underwhelmed with this foundation overall, purely just because of the hype around this foundation right now at the moment, kind of. But that being said, it wasn't a bad foundation. It just has its quirks and whatnot, so I do hope that this review has been helpful for you in seeing whether or not you're going to want to test it out with all of its quirks. I personally could see myself maybe using it as a foundation mix-in to add some of that full coverage, but for me, I just don't want to use a fragrance product on my face, especially not when I'm hurting like this. So to me, it's not going to be one of my like main go-to foundations, but we'll see if I could work with it in the future. Definitely let me know down in the comments down below whether you have tried out this foundation or not. What kind of skin do you have? Did it work out for you? It's always great to cook up a nice casserole of comments down there in the comment section below so that everyone can get a more informed opinions on the product. Let's make each other informed buyers. Yeah, let's do that down below. You can also let me know if you enjoyed this video, found it helpful, whatever the case may be, by giving it a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you are new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe. You can tippity tap that notification bell down below. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I'd love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. Until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!